They're not invading. They're isolating the dollar. While the world watches tanks and troops, China and Russia are waging a different kind of war: economic warfare. Energy deals in yuan, gold-backed strategies, a BRICS currency in the making, and Washington scrambling to hold the dollar's crown. But the question is, can they really dethrone the king of currencies? Let's break it down. For nearly 50 years, oil, the world's most traded commodity, has been bought and sold almost exclusively in US dollars. This system, known as the petrodollar, made the dollar the center of global finance. But now, China and Russia are rewriting the rules. Since sanctions hit, Russia has ramped up oil exports to China. But here's the twist: they're not settling in dollars. According to Reuters, more than 30% of Russia-China trade is now settled in yuan, up from just 2% in 2021. Saudi Arabia has also hinted at accepting yuan for oil sales, a signal that the dollar's oil monopoly may be ending. Some analysts call this the stealth war on the dollar, a quiet but deliberate dismantling of dollar dominance. With access to the SWIFT system restricted, Russia turned to something timeless: gold. The Russian central bank has been rapidly increasing its gold reserves. And in recent years, officials have floated the idea of creating a gold-backed digital currency, possibly under the BRICS alliance, to settle international trade and bypass dollar-based systems. Al-Jazeera reports that Russia may even use this system for bilateral trade with nations in Asia, Africa, and South America. While skeptics say a return to gold is outdated, others argue it's about trust. In a world of financial sanctions and frozen reserves, gold doesn't lie. It's not just economic, it's geopolitical signaling. Then there's China, playing a longer, more digital game. The digital yuan, China's state-controlled central bank digital currency, CBDC, is already in pilot programs across dozens of cities. And it's not just domestic. According to the BBC, China is working with countries like Thailand, the UAE, and Singapore to launch cross-border payment platforms using the digital yuan, cutting SWIFT out of the picture entirely. This isn't just about technology, it's about influence. Through initiatives like the Belt and Road, China is positioning the digital yuan as a cheap, fast, and censorship-free alternative to the dollar in developing nations. Critics warn it's a surveillance tool, but others see it as the first real challenger to US monetary dominance in decades. The US hasn't stayed quiet. After Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Washington unleashed sweeping sanctions, freezing central bank assets, cutting off banks from SWIFT, and targeting oligarchs. It also moved fast to tighten alliances, reinforcing NATO, expanding Quad with India and Japan, and coordinating with the EU to maintain dollar hegemony. According to the Council on Foreign Relations, the US is pushing harder on reshoring supply chains, building tech alliances, and countering digital finance threats with its own CBDC research. But there's a dilemma. The more the US weaponizes the dollar, the more incentive other countries have to find alternatives. It's a high-stakes balancing act. Can the dollar survive? Let's zoom out. Despite the noise, the US dollar still accounts for nearly 60% of global foreign exchange reserves, IMF 2024. It dominates global debt, oil pricing, and investor confidence. Whenever crisis hits, from pandemics to wars, money still flows into the dollar, not away from it. But cracks are forming. Digital currencies, BRICS cooperation, gold-based proposals. They don't destroy the dollar, but they do chip away at its supremacy. Some analysts say this won't be a collapse, it'll be an erosion, a slow shift from a unipolar to a multipolar financial world. So, can China and Russia really defeat the US dollar? Maybe not today, maybe not completely, but they've started a long game to isolate it. And that's a battle worth watching. Is this the beginning of a new Cold War? Fought with contracts, code, and coins? or just the latest rebellion against the world's reserve currency? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you want more geopolitical deep dives like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel, GeoPulse, because the next global war may not be on a battlefield. It may be in your wallet.